Good morning, good life. In this episode, we're getting into the details about my updated morning routine. So I like to talk a lot about this kind of thing in my world, and I'm updating my morning routine with you. It is not the same as I previously reported in a YouTube video a couple months ago. I am updating it for spring, and I'm going to give you all the details as to why that is. It's time for some detail therapy so that you can uncover your path to going after the life you want.
She's an award-winning YouTuber and best-selling author obsessed with helping you go after the life you want.
I like it.
Join her as she seeks out the stories and strategies
Give me every little detail.
of extraordinary people who found success.
I'm going to get emotional. Oh my God.
Welcome to Detail Therapy with Amy Landino.
So if you subscribe to Amy TV over on YouTube, youtube.com/Amy TV, shout out to you if you're one of our proud troops over there. I posted a video over the weekend called I Quit My Morning Routine. And there's a very, is that clickbait or what in my world? That is some clickbaity stuff. But here's the thing, it kind of is true. And I wanted to talk about that with you today. You know, the elephant in the room is I am the morning routine queen. And so did I really quit my morning routine? That would be crazy. I have a lot of explaining to do, I know. But one thing I've never done is actually come to the podcast first to explain my current morning routine. That's usually a YouTube video that happens. And as soon as we come up with a new routine or it changes slightly, I will make a video out of it, but I have not done that yet. And so I thought I would share all the details of my current morning routine with Detail Therapy before I go and make a spring morning routine video so that you guys can get kind of like the play-by-play, what is actually happening. But if you're new to the show, hello, my name is Amy Landino and I will be your host. I'm a success coach. I'm founder of Gatlu House, a resource dedicated to helping you go after the life you want. You can see all of our work, including the show notes for this podcast episode by going to detailtherapy.online in your browser. Check it out. So here is what's happening. I've been kind of talking about this lately, but not in great detail. Long story short, I was just doing a little, if you're really self-developing yourself, you're looking into your health. And I was going to see different doctors about different things just to make sure all is good. I'm getting older. What do I need to know? And I did find I'm in mostly good health, you guys. I'm not trying to sit here and go like there's some tragedy going on behind the scenes. Overall, I am doing very well. So thank you for your concern in advance. But there is one little thing that I could improve upon and, is making certain other areas of my life more challenging. At the end of the day, let me tell you what it's all due to. That big, stupid thing that we all hate is absolutely crushing my health, and that is stress. Stress is absolutely crushing my health. It's not just like being stressed out. If you ever would have asked me to take a survey on stress and like, are you stressed? I would have said no for like the last 10 years because I don't think of my life as stressful, although there's a lot of things built into it that indeed make it more stressful than the average life, I guess, owning a business and all these different things. And so I guess I never realized how much what I've been doing for X amount of time in terms of running a business and all of the risks and craziness that comes with that, the travel, the different things that I do to kind of, test my abilities. All of that stress is really starting to add up over that amount of time. And so that's one of the things that I have discovered about myself lately. And I talked about this in the YouTube video. You can check it out. I'll leave it in the show notes. But one of the things that I unpacked in this healing journey that I am now on is that maybe I've been still, as seriously as I take sleep, maybe I've still not been getting enough. Maybe I've been undersleeping. And it's because I'm so excited to get up, do my morning routine, go about my day. I love that feeling. It makes me feel good. But I've been running on a little bit of adrenaline with all the things I do throughout the day. And that extra hour and a half of sleep or whatever it is can change the game for me. So it's very interesting. You go through life and you learn things and The way you used to do things don't work as well as they do now. And it's not necessarily that I won't be able to get back to that, because I really do miss waking up before the sun, but it has not been happening for the last 2 months. And I miss it a lot. But you just can't unknow things like what you're doing to improve your health on a regular basis. So all that being said, you can get way more details about my feelings and how this made me crazy when I first found out in that YouTube video. Right now, I want to focus on, how has my morning routine changed? And, I wrote the book, Good Morning, Good Life, and the whole methodology in that book. We talk about 5 habits for really mastering your mornings and upgrading your life. But there's 3 pillar things to do in every single morning to start the day on your terms. That's movement, mindfulness, and mastery. I really kind of feel the most positive about the fact that even though things are very different in my routine right now than they were a couple months ago and for the last number of years, I'm still following that method, and it's still making me feel like I'm having a very well-rounded start to the day. And I'm very pleased about that, because again, I get to have this experiment or this season where I can prove that no matter how different your morning is, if you can't wake up super early, if you don't want to wake up super early, if you don't want to do the ambitious craziness in the morning and you want it to be different, you can still do these 3 things and have just as effective of a morning as somebody else. So I have still been following the Good Morning, Good Life way, movement, mindfulness, mastery. And I would say it's definitely way different, but I'll walk you through that. So here's the sitch. First, every morning routine starts when? The night before. That's right. I know if you've been around for a while. And so the night before, I'm doing a lot of the same things that I was doing, in the sense that, trying to get to bed at a good time, getting in bed and reading a book so that I drift off to sleep, not cuddling up with my phone too late at night, and basically just allowing my body to slow down, to shut down. One of the things I've started incorporating is a magnesium drink before bed. I used to do this all the time. You can get it on Amazon. It's called Calm. I'm doing a different version of that was recommended by my doctor, but it's basically the same idea. You're just having water with some magnesium in it. It's very good for helping you fall asleep, and it's very good for you. Don't take my word for it as a doctor or anything. Look into it if it's right for you. It's on Amazon. I am not a doctor, by the way. Please do not take medical advice from me, because I am not the expert, is what I found out recently. But anyway, so that's something I've been doing the night before. It really helps me. And I go to sleep now without an alarm clock set. And believe me when I say that's weird. It's extremely weird, because now when I wake up, every time I wake up, I think, oh, it's the weekend, because that's only something I would do on Friday nights or Saturday nights. But I've been tasked to do that because the other 5 days per week where I was getting 7.5 hours and thinking I'm good to go after 7.5 hours, my body actually would like to get 9. So how do I know that? If somebody sat you down and said, if you didn't set an alarm, what time would you wake up? And the answer is, 9 hours later, not 7.5. So that was very eye-opening for me, because I thought that number was one that I was very sure about and very, very clear on. I never really realized that I was never tired. I never took naps throughout the day. I never had any indication that I was tired. But when I started looking internally, my body is a little bit tired. So very eye-opening. Ask yourself that question. How many hours would you sleep if you didn't set an alarm? That's when your body is saying, I'm happy, I'm good. And so that number is 9 hours for me. So my goal every night is to get 9 hours of sleep. Since I'm not setting an alarm, and I still definitely want to reverse engineer when I'm going to wake up, because I need to know when I'm going to wake up, because I have a life I have to get to. Looking at the clock and saying, okay, well, 10 hours before you wake up, Amy, you should probably be getting in bed and starting to drift off to sleep so that you can make sure you get that 9 hours and kind of predict when you're going to wake up. So that's what I've been doing. Again, watch my YouTube video where I will say how luxurious and privileged that is, because I know there's so many people in this world who cannot do that. You got to report to a boss. Getting to bed as early as 10 hours is probably an obnoxious recommendation, and it's obnoxious to me too, believe me. which is why I can appreciate when I hear, you only have to do this during your healing journey. But what sucks about that is that like, okay, but if this is good for my healing journey, it probably means I should do it forever. How in the heck am I going to sustain this forever? But I feel pretty good. And so that's been the biggest thing is as much as I'll wake up in the morning and be like, ugh, the sun's up. I'm so far behind in life. I should be going. That's the first reminder that I'm starting the day slower. And that is the key to success for me right now is slow down, Amy. Slow down. So when I wake up 9 hours later, first thing I do is I take a little medication, drink a lot of water. The medication that I take, I can't have anything to eat and really nothing to drink, not coffee. I can't even have lemon water in that first hour. I just need some straight H2O. So now instead of drinking my lemon water, I'm chugging like 30 ounces of water because I'm trying to get the majority of my water intake at the beginning of the day because it's very easy for me to lose track of it the rest of the day. And that was another very key thing about me is I'm not doing a great job of absorbing water. Or absorbing anything for that matter. It's a very interesting fact about myself. I'm not absorbing the things I'm intaking, which is odd. So drinking that water and electrolytes has been very, very important for my healing journey as well. So I'm drinking a lot of water in the morning with my medication. I still go straight to the bathroom after that, do my skincare, brush my teeth, do that whole thing. I cannot operate if there are crusties in my eyes and no moisturizer on my skin. I just can't do it. It's not a life I want. So I have to do that first. That's my first little movement for the day. Start to get the wheels turning in my head a little bit. I go back to my dressing room and I do my standard mindfulness that I would do any other day, even if it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Now I'm doing it not at 4 o'clock in the morning. A little bit of morning pages. So this is where I take all the things like, oh, I wish I would have woke up earlier. I wish I wasn't sleeping in. I wish I was 2 hours ahead of schedule right now. That's all the stuff I put in my morning pages. I let all that stuff go. I put it there. I let it out. If you don't know about morning pages, it's just 3 journal pages of stream of consciousness. Anything I'm thinking about, I write it down. Sometimes it's those grudges I was just telling you about. Sometimes it's not. Anything I'm thinking, I write it down, get it out of my head. I read the Daily Stoic. I also have the Daily Stoic journal I've been doing, which is really enjoyable as well. And I do my visualization and affirmations of my goals. So still doing a lot of the same stuff for mindfulness. I am starting to get to a point where because the name of the game for my morning routine now is slow down, I do think I'm going to start incorporating more meditation in the morning because even when I sit down to do my mindfulness practice, it feels like business as usual, which I like. But business as usual sometimes it makes me want to like jump ahead. And I can't jump ahead of the next 2 steps. I need something that's going to slow me down some more. So even just taking 5 minutes would probably benefit me. And I've done it a couple times now, but not every single morning. I'm starting to feel like it needs to be every single morning. Like, yes, you just did all your wonderful little journaling things. Slow down again. Because that's the thing that my body needs to start getting used to is that we don't have to rush off to the next thing. Certainly not in the morning routine. So anyway, after that, it's spring, my friends. Spring has sprung. I'm thrilled about it. I currently love my house so much and we love going on walks in this neighborhood. I think that's one of our favorite things about this house is that the neighborhood we're in, we just love it so much. So my movement every single morning has been just religiously a walk with the dog every morning. And that's been different because we weren't doing it every morning before. It was something we loved to do, but if it was like bitter cold outside, we did not love it, right? It was like brief. Nice fresh air, but brief. And now it's fresh air. It's the tulips, you guys. The tulips are everywhere. And I'm so grateful I don't have allergies, you guys. If you have allergies, I'm so sorry. Just walking around and taking it in and just, again, still not worrying about the next thing. Because when I'm on a walk, there's only so much I can do, especially if I don't bring my phone. Those things are pick up poop and observe nature and talk to my husband. And that's it. And that's another reminder to slow down because it's very easy for me on that walk to say, oh gosh, I have so much to do today. What time is it? We gotta go. but we can't go because we're on our walk. And so that reminder has been really, really nice. And I'm enjoying that piece of movement and allowing just like exercise to be later on the movement that matters, being slow and intentional and with people I love and dogs I love and things like that. So that's been movement. After movement, we will come back and just grab the cup of coffee and like start talking a little bit in the kitchen to start the day. My husband and I are entrepreneurs. We co-own businesses together. So we will start to talk about what's going on. What do you have going on today? What's your schedule? What's dinner going to look like? Just start to get those things out of the way, because mastery, that third step, is when I get to start my day, because whatever my mastery is has to do with my business, which is really lovely. And this is where I spend time on the one thing. What is the one thing I had to do today? Today, for me, my one thing is recording this podcast. This podcast is a little bit delayed than usual because we've been falling behind on my schedule a little bit because I had some travel. And so now I got to get this podcast done. So the one thing I have to get done today that is going to help make sure that the ship is right is for me to record this podcast. And this is a moment of mastery for me. This is me getting to talk to you. This is me getting to better my communication. This is me bettering how I teach. This is me reminding myself of how good my morning routine is, as much as it doesn't feel that familiar to me. And so there's a lot of mastery that goes into this. Tomorrow I might be writing a video first thing in the morning. The next day I might be writing an Instagram caption or planning a photo shoot or a campaign. Those are my one things. Those are my moments of mastery. They have to do with making sure that my business is thriving and that I can pay all my employees so that they are happy as well. And so I love that. That's my mastery. And that really starts the day. Then I can get into the nitty gritty of business, like emails and Trello and all these other things. But if I do the creative thing first, I am best off. So nothing crazy, literally nothing crazy. It's like weird how little craziness is going on. But I've really been enjoying it. I'm trying to figure out if I'm enjoying it, even though I still have those moments of judgment. I'm trying to figure out if I'm enjoying it because I know that it's possible it could end, or I might be enjoying it because it might be my new way of life, especially if I continue to do other things that benefit my health, like the vitamins I've been taking and just, different things where I'm trying to drink more water and exercise and eat better and whatever. As you do those things, it's like, why would you not do the easy things, like just letting yourself get all the sleep you can get? And so I don't know how this is going to go yet, but so far, so good. I would love to see some positive, lab results back from the doctor to tell me that what I've been doing is working, because, achiever over here. So we'll see how it goes. But the Good Morning Good Life planner is still in the day-to-day, my tasks, what I'm doing to take care of myself. I use it to guide me through, and I'm still doing my movement mindfulness mastery. It's such a good reminder of that. And I'm feeling good. I am feeling good, as much as it feels weird to say that something that worked for me for so long is apparently not working for me anymore. But that's life, I guess. We have to continue to lean into who we are, not the story we want to tell ourselves, and try to learn who that person is and who that person is becoming. And as long as we're not doing things to self-sabotage, which thankfully that's not been an issue yet in terms of my morning routine. I'm not waking up in the morning and staring at my phone, which is something I'm just vehemently against. If you're not against that, that's fine. There were people in my book, Good Morning, Good Life, who wake up and look at their phone. That may be the right thing for them. That may have a lot to do with their mastery. For me, it doesn't. It doesn't. And so I'm not going to let everything fall to the wayside just because I'm getting more sleep. That doesn't mean that I get to skip right to checking emails. I still have to do my 3 morning moments. So far, I'm feeling good about it. I just want to make sure that I'm always doing what's right for my body, because I want to live for a very long time. And so we'll hopefully see that to be the result. You know what I mean? I'm going to be like podcasting until I'm 125 years old, guys. It's going to be really interesting. You just stay tuned. Okay, I have a question for you. While we're here and we're just having a candid chat, I need you to do me a favor. If you listen to this show a lot, and I know who you are, out there, and I'll see your names pop up. I know it, and you know who you are. I want you to comment on my latest Instagram over at Details Podcast. Go over to the podcast, leave a comment. It doesn't matter what the image is. It should be an image for this show. But go and leave a comment and just let me know. Because we are going to be, this season of Detail Therapy is going to be ending in about a month or so. Got a few great interviews coming your way. We've got some more episodes coming. Some of them are already done. I'm so excited for you to hear them. But when we close down the season, I'm going to be taking the summer off of podcasting. And then we're going to come back for the next season. And so I'm trying to think about how we might do things differently in the future, if that makes sense. And so I would love your feedback on this. Here's the easy way to answer it, okay? Do you like how we've been doing things on the podcast? Some solo episodes, some interviews, all of them about 35 minutes long, unless it's like a crazy Clubhouse or something. We'll have a long episode once a week. Like, do you like that vibe? Sorry, I'm throwing my hands around now. I hit the microphone. Do you like that vibe? Once a week, 30 or so minutes or more. Or would you maybe still like these episodes, but also enjoy additional episodes per week, sometimes shorter? Like, I might just jump on here, no theme song, nothing crazy, and just be like, hey, here's what's on my mind today, Motivation Monday or something like that. I just think sometimes I have moments where I just want to jump on and say something. And podcasting is the best place to do that. And detail therapy is certainly the best place to do that. I can't always do that on camera. And so I was just wondering if that's a vibe you're feeling. Do you like the idea of more frequent episodes varying in time? Or do you like coming here for the once a week ritual for 30-ish minutes? I would love your thoughts on that. Leave that on my latest Instagram photo at Details Podcast. That's at Details Podcast on Instagram, if you're not already following. I'm just curious to hear how much more fun and stretched we can be on the next episode. But for now, every Tuesday until our season finale, you can be back here to join me and another guest probably in the very near future. And also, if you haven't already left a review over in the podcast store for Apple, that is so appreciated. If you listen on Apple or if you have an Apple device, and you can leave your true and honest review over at Detail Therapy, that truly supports the work that we do. It helps us to be able to keep this info free for you. And so thank you so much for doing that if you have not already. If you do, you may be entered to win a special gift from me on the next episode. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Cheers.